Hi everyone, welcome back to Let's Do Bonsai. I'm Scott Winard. It's been a while, so hope everybody's keeping well and keeping okay. We're still on lockdown here in the UK, but restrictions are going to be lifted probably in about a month or so, around about April the 12th. So, you know, it's a sign of things hopefully being able to get more freer and better, but you know, we have to keep everybody safe and we have to do the best things that we can, you know, as we go about our daily business. So yeah, business has been busy. There's been a lot happening and a lot going on. So I thought it was about time to get back in front of the camera, and with the lemon tree here putting out some lovely growth and putting out some lovely flowers, and the flowers have popped open, I thought it would be a shame not to get it on video and let you all see it. This was the larger of the lemon trees that we defoliated probably a year ago or more, and it was left alone for the whole of last year, and it sulked quite a little bit. It put out some new leaves, which are now obviously the old leaves, and they got a bit of scarring on them, so we might take those off today. But there's an abundance of new fresh leaves shooting out now that this has been brought in and put into the grow tents behind me, which I've re-erected, which will also serve as, you know, a permanent backdrop being in this position, so that'll help out. So yeah, this is the larger of the lemon trees. Not too much to be done to it today, maybe just take off some of these scarred leaves, but I will just bring you in to have a look at the new growth and the lovely flowers that it's putting out, and who knows, it may try to put out some fruit. We probably don't really want it to bear the fruit. We'd rather it put the energy into growing its branches, etc., because it still is only a very young tree. But it would be interesting to see if we got some little lemons off it. I've also started some lemon seeds. I've got some soaking here, which we will put in some soil today, and I do have some that have been soaked and wrapped up into some tissue paper and made moist. I have had a sneak peek at them, so I know how they're getting on, so we're going to have to get them out as well so that we can have a look at getting them sown into some soil so that they can carry on the greatness that they're doing so far. So here we are, there's the lemon tree. You'll have to excuse the mess. We are in the garage, everything's tightly squeezed in. To give you a better look, I will rearrange things and get this pushed up towards the tents as a nice backdrop. So here we are, the lemon tree in all its finery, and you can see there are some lovely flowers ready to pop out there. They're budded up. We do have some dirt on the leaves, some secretion from insects on the leaves, so we'll be cleaning that up. You can see there the damage to some of the leaves, more so up here, so we'll be removing those damaged leaves. But look at that lovely flower, how it's popped open, absolutely beautiful. And then just up the top here, the first one that popped open, doesn't that look fantastic? So from the sticks that we had the last time we worked on this tree, we've got lots of new growth in there and lots of flowering, so the tree continues to do well. It's nice and strong and it all is good. So I'm just going to come in from behind the camera here and just remove the leaves with the damage, leaving a little bit of the petiole in place so that we don't stop the energy coming up to the tree through the branches. But it will just remove these nasty looking larger leaves and leave these nice smaller leaves, and there are even much smaller leaves coming through that are looking really, really well. So there's just a few with considerable scarring on the leaves, which we will get rid of, and that'll just tidy up the appearance of the tree. But we won't be doing too much more, because now that it's recovering from that defoliation and the root work that we did the last time, we want it to continue to recover. We don't want it to sulk, we don't want it to go backwards. So I think that's probably just enough work to remove those poor leaves. I'll just take this one off here, and that's all the bad looking leaves removed. There is just some leaves with some sap, sticky sap secretion from insects. We do have some flies flying in there. I've put up some stickies. I've put a little jar of vinegary sugary water for the flies to go in and be trapped in, and it is catching them. Once they go in, they can't get back out, and yeah, no, it's doing really, really well. So we're going to let this carry on growing throughout the year, and then we'll revisit throughout the year, but you know, for work wise, we'll revisit in autumn, in the fall, and look to carry on making this progressing even further. We will have some branch selection to do, because there's all sorts of new branches coming off the main structure of the tree, and we'll want to take that back, you know, sooner rather than later. But no, the lemon tree does really well. So I'll just give the lemon tree some nice water with plenty of food inside, fertilizer. Let that soak in, and then we can put it back in the tent and get the smaller lemon tree out and take a look at that. So here we are with the smaller of the two lemon trees that we've worked on. You will see that the older leaves that did come out are all yellow. That's because they're not getting enough feed, they're not getting enough nutrients. So it's been put into some standard type soil, and it's been getting watered with some feed every now and again to try and help with that. The new leaves that are coming in are nice and green, nice and strong. So hopefully we have rectified the problem with that, and all these nice new shoots that are coming through are looking very well. So what we will do is we will just remove these larger, weaker leaves off of this one. And that'll allow the tree to put the energy into the new leaves that are pushing through now. We'll leave the smaller lower ones, hopefully they'll green up, but these, same as on the big tree, slightly damaged, weren't getting enough feed and enough nutrients, but since it's come in and it's in the tents, I'll just take this one off because it's growing inwards inside the tree structure. There's lots of new growth, new leaves all coming through, looking really nice. I'll just let you have a look at it all the way around, and whilst it's doing that we'll give it a bit of water and feed, and hopefully it will carry on in the tent, carry on growing and doing well. There are lots of new shoots coming up all over, out of the back of the old leaves. There's brand new growth coming out of the top here, brand new growth coming out of the top of each of those. We'll just continue to monitor it. There's new growth coming out of the bottom there which we probably won't want, but we'll allow it to keep going, just so that it's asking the tree for lots of energy, and it'll help, obviously, when it pushes back down to the roots, it'll help that root structure grow nice and strong. So that was a look at the 2 lemon trees that we've already got, that we've been working with, and how they're getting on. So you'll see that they both kind of sulked after the major work that we did do previously, but now this spring, this beginning of spring, they're really pushing out some nice growth and really growing nice and strongly. So hopefully that will carry on throughout spring and the summer, and by the end of summer we'll be able to look at them and see such a drastic difference, a big change. So fingers crossed, and is looking forward to that. So since the beginning of the year I've had a little bit of an affinity with lemons. I've been trying to lose some weight because I was getting very big. I've always been quite big, but I was getting extremely big, and it was time for me to do something about it. So beginning of the year, you know, natural time for anybody to do it. Let's make a lifestyle change and do things different and try and lose some weight, etc. I commenced on a bit of a lifestyle journey, and it's been going quite well. One of the most recent things, part of that journey, has been drinking lemon water. So you get some lemons, you chop them up, you squeeze the juices out, you boil up what's left in a couple of litres of water, pour it into a container, put that lemon juice in that you squeezed out at the beginning, and just wait for it to cool down and drink it every half an hour before a meal. Whether it's doing anything or not, I don't know. I can tell you that I've lost over 30 pounds in weight. I was 19 stone 1, I'm now 16 stone 12. So you know, I've lost a considerable amount of weight, and hopefully that will carry on. Hopefully the lemons are just, you know, helping out, and I'll continue to lose the weight. But irrespective of that, obviously squeezing the lemons brings out lemon seeds. So I thought to myself, here I go again. I wonder if we can grow some lemons from seed. So I obviously saved the seeds as I squeezed out the lemons, and wrapped them up in some kitchen roll, wet the kitchen roll, put them in, and then see if they'd grow. And as you can see there's quite a bit of growth from most of those seeds. So what we're going to have to do is get these into some soil in this tray. There was another one, I haven't been in this one, I knew that one had got some roots coming out of it. This one I'm not expecting anything from these because these were boiled. So when the when the seeds were boiled in the water with the lemon, I thought, well, see whether boiling them causes any damage to them and stops them from growing. So I don't know whether there's going to be any growth on these, but if we can open it up, we'll find out. So no, there hasn't been. I know some seeds, when you boil them, or not quite boil them, but get them nice and hot, it can help break the casing and break the dormancy. But these, obviously, you know, boiling them will have killed them off and done no good. So we know any that are in the boiled water, not worth bothering with. But that was just something I tried as a result of fishing them out from the boiled water. Fishing out the pulp, fishing, you know, sieving it through, and then the seeds were there. Why not try it? So we'll do away with them, and these ones that have got some root and some growth coming off them, let's get them into some soil and see how they grow on. We also have some seeds from another batch that I just soaked. Didn't wrap them up in anything. I've just soaked them, so they're really swollen up, and what we'll do is we'll push them into the soil and see if they grow. There's a couple in there that are quite large where they've really swollen up, and they look like they're ready to break. In fact, I think that one has done. So that one, once it's got some oxygen and soil, that's going to pop, and that's going to grow, put out some nice growth and some root. So we'll get a layer of soil into the bottom of this tray, just a standard plastic seed tray. We'll get these in, cover them over, and then we'll get the ones that have just been soaked in and covered in water. We'll try and divide them down the middle, and then we'll know, you know, how they grew from which batch. Okay, so we've put a light airy layer of soil in all of these pockets, and what we'll do is we'll just take a root rake and we'll just create a little dip in there, and then just push the soil around it, tamp it down ever so slightly, and then go with the next one. So we're just going to keep picking them up, drop them in, tamp the top of the soil in, and just keep going for the next one. There's roots in pretty much every one of these seeds. They've done really well. I'm so pleased. It's really nice to get some success. Lots on that one. Maybe a little bit too much. Maybe we should have put that one in beforehand. I will allow the green part of that just to stick out. Another one. So I'll carry on doing this, and then we'll come back. So that's this half. Most of them have got seeds in that have germinated. A couple of them didn't, but we've put them in this back one just to see if we get anything out of it. If we do, we do. If we don't, it doesn't matter. So we'll just put some holes in for the soaked seeds. And now we'll fish them out and drop them in. One at a time. We should get some germination from these, but how much we get remains to be seen. So we'll just poke them into the soil. Just push the soil down around it. And what we'll do is we'll give this a nice watering in, but we're not going to use the feed water. I'll bring up one of the other bottles and we'll use just straight rainwater. I don't think we really want to be putting the feed in on little roots. That wouldn't really do us any great deal of good. So that's those ones sown in, awaiting some water. And I do have a pot which had some plants in which didn't do very well, but the soil's quite good, although bone dry. And what we'll do is we'll pour the rest of these seeds into the soil and just see whether any of those can do anything. So we'll just agitate them into the soil, mix them up, get them into different parts of the soil. We'll also give that a really good water. And we'll place them into the tent and hopefully we'll get some good growth. Hopefully we'll be revisiting these really soon, and the seeds that have got germination on them hopefully will be throwing up some shoots and we'll have something to report. So we'll just come in with the water and give this soil a thorough soaking, and hopefully those seeds, once they go into the tent, will be able to germinate. Any seeds that are coming to the top, we'll push them back underneath the soil. We'll just go through these seeds, give them a nice watering. The water will flow out underneath, and then we'll get them into the tent. So that's going to do it for this part of Fruity Bonsai of this series. That's the lemons done, and next we will be looking at oranges, but that'll be in part 2 of the series. And then after that we're going to be looking at cherry. I was lucky enough to pick up some cherry seeds that had gone through the process of being eaten by birds and being pooped out. There was an abundance of them locally, just not too far, not even a 5-minute walk, a few minute walk. 2 years ago we picked them up, but I'll tell you more about that in the next one. So for now, have the best of the rest of your day. If it is the end of your day, have a great tomorrow. Be kind to others, animals and the planet, and I'll see you again very soon for the next episode in Fruity Bonsai.